Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Alba. How are you today?
Fine, and you, teacher? Bueno, today I'm very sad. This is the last day. Le digo, I tell George, what we do the next month?
Ay, Albita. Los voy a extrañar, porque armamos buen cotorreo.
Me too, no, I think, a ver, es que de new course, I tell Jorge, o sea, I want to enter again the three to reposa como repaso. ¿Cómo se hace repasar?
Level 3 to review.
To review, the tenses, the present, perfect, everything. Pero I think the next month at 10 o'clock was the first course? Level
Yes.
1?
Level 1.
I wait 2 months to
yeah.
enter a level 3.
Next year.
Sí. Pues ya, 2 months, teacher.
Ya están aquí, se pasa bien rápido.
Sí, por eso sí, porque es que dije, no, pues entrar a intro a uno, pues no. También tampoco, no soy tan mensa, pero a lo mejor sí, ¿verdad? Pero no, la verdad me ha hecho muy buena, me ha hecho, la verdad es que por eso en todos los cursos, hasta mi hermana me dice, todo el mundo me dice que tiene muy buena pronunciación, la verdad que sí.
Gracias.
No, sí, yo he estado en otra escuela, estuve en Interlenguas, hace 20,000 años, y no, nada que ver. Sí, muy buenas las clases, la verdad. Por eso sí seguí aquí todos estos cursos.
Gracias.
¿Verdad, Jorge, que los vamos a extrañar?
Yes.
Los voy a extrañar, le digo a Alba que armamos buen cotorreo.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Ok. Bueno, pues si se deciden, Albita, Jorge, aquí estoy.
Sí, voy a checar que estamos horarios.
Muy bien.
¿Usted qué clases da, maestra? ¿De qué niveles da? ¿Todos?
Sí, todos. Nada más
Bueno,
que
sí, de todos.
Sí, he dado todo. Nada más que ahorita nada más me tienen en, ¿cómo se llama? En línea. Pero yo también daba.
Pues es lo que queremos en línea.
Sí. Mira, los próximos cursos van a ser ahorita de 10 a 12, de 10 a 11, perdón, va a ser básico. Y luego de 8:30 a 9:30 es nivel 3. Y luego
pero de la mañana.
Sí, sí, de la mañana. Y luego de 12:30 a 1:30 va a ser nivel 2.
No, entonces mejor si va a ser a las 10 el básico, no sé si en diciembre tengan clases.
Sí, en diciembre nos vamos de vacaciones, regresamos siempre los primeros de enero. Regresamos a
O sea,
clase.
sería pues estamos en noviembre, a mediados de noviembre en el básico.
Sí.
Termina ese curso y en diciembre no hay curso entonces, ¿verdad?
No.
Sería hasta febrero.
Hasta febrero. Sería el nivel.
Bueno, igual es, sí, a ver qué hago. Si no me meto en curso. ¿A qué hora dijo que era el otro? 12, el 2. El 3 seguiría, ¿verdad? No, pero sería mucho rollo. Bueno, a ver qué.
I can teach you some English.
Yeah, okay. You have your teacher over there.
Oh, yeah. No.
Okay, guys.
Yes.
Bueno, pues vamos a empezar, ¿sí? Último día y hay que cerrar. Empezamos, comparto con pantalla. And today we are going to talk about grammar. Use the adverb to plus adjective and infinitive. ¿Sí? Dice use to plus an adjective and an infinitive to give a warning or an explanation. One more time. Use to plus an adjective and an infinitive to give a warning or an explanation. It's too dark to go hiking now. Aquí está. This is the warning. See? Too dark to go. This is the adverb to plus the adjective plus the infinitive to go. That means don't go hiking now because it's dark. See, you are warning people. Next one. Those cliffs are too steep to climb or too steep to climb. See? One more time. Adverb 2, adjective, and the verb in infinitive form. And that means you shouldn't climb those cliffs because they're very steep.
What is a steep? A steep, what is a steep? I imagine, but I don't know. The word is steep.
It's steep. Empinado.
Yes. Ah, okay.
Mhm.
Yes.
So, okay. And use a for phrase to further clarify a warning or explanation. It's too dangerous for children to go swimming there. Only adults should swim there. ¿Sí? Entonces, use a for phrase to further clarify, o sea, todavía vas a clarificar o aclarar más el aviso o la prevención, ¿sí? O la explicación con for. Okay, one more time, please, Albita. Read the information, please.
Entonces, then is with the verb in infinitive.
Ajá, así es. Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Can you read it one more time, please, Albita?
Ah, okay. Use to plus an adjective and an infinitive to give a warning or an explanation. It's too dark to go hiking now. Go hiking now because those cliffs are too steep
Steep.
to
Mhm.
climb. You shouldn't climb those cliffs because they're very steep. Use a for phrase for further clarify a warning or explanations. It's too dangerous for children to go swimming there. Only adults should swim there. Why is it infinitive with enough?
No.
Grammar booster.
En grammar.
No.
Bueno, enough, acuérdense que es suficiente, ¿sí? It's a ver, let me think about that. Okay. It's dangerous enough to swim in the river. ¿Sí? Acuérdense. It's dangerous. Tienes que usar, you have to use an adjective. It's dangerous enough. Es lo suficientemente peligroso to swim in the river. El verbo tienen que usarlo en forma infinitiva. Así es. Nomás que no les puse, no se me pasó poner esto. Poner ejemplos. Ok, perdón. Let's go to grammar practice. Complete the sentences using to plus an adjective and a for phrase plus an infinitive. Muy bien. George, number 1.
It's too dangerous to go to that neighborhood alone.
That's right. Muy bien. Number 2, please, Alvita.
The pyramid of Teotihuacan is too steep for all tourists to climb.
Right. Muy bien, excellent. Number 3, please, George.
It's too late for your friends catch the last train to the capital.
Excellent.
It's too late your trains to catch the last train to the capital.
Okay, Alvita.
The path is too rocky for your children to walk on safely.
Excellent. George, number 5.
It's really too hard to us. No, it's really too hard to us. Yes, it's really too hard for us to go hiking to the waterfall today.
Perfect. And Albita, number 6.
Don't you think this map is too confusing for them to understand?
That's right. Too confusing for them to understand. Muy bien. Any question up to now? Mayra?
No, I already read it.
Muy bien. No questions?
No.
Bueno, entonces vamos a seguir. Okay, we have here vocabulary because remember we were checking geographical and those things, geographical and what else? Some adjectives in order to describe the nature or the places where we live. And we have these imagines, these geographic nouns, a forest, a jungle, a valley, a canyon, an island, and a glacier. Pardon. Geographic adjectives, mountainous, hilly, flat, dry or arid, lush, and green.
What
Questions
do you mean
about
lush?
lush? Como muy demasiado verde. Ajá, lozano.
Hilly.
Hilly es cerros. Como hill es
Ah, sí.
cerro.
Monta con pequeñas montañas, ¿verdad?
Como colinas, ¿no?
Colinas,
Sí,
colinas.
colina. Ajá. Así es. Okay. Any other question?
El lush también es exuberante. Exuberantemente verde.
Ajá.
Lush.
Exuberante verde.
Lush.
Ah,
Ajá,
okay.
lush. Ajá.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank-
No, it's clear,
¿No?
teacher.
Okay. Vamos a ver, continue. Dice now. Let's listen. Dice listening comprehension. Read the question and listen to a description of a memorable trip and answer the question. Let's read the question. Number 1, Mayra, please.
Yes. What country did Mr. Yamachik visit?
Number 2, George.
What kind of place did he visit? A park, a beach, an island, a jungle?
Albita.
What activity did he and his wife do the most? Go skiing, go swimming, go hiking, go hand gliding.
Gliding. Okay.
What is gliding?
Gliding. Es
Yeah.
el vuelo del papalote. Que sí los han visto, que se practica mucho en Valle de Bravo.
Yes, I know.
De los paraplente.
Ajá, esos menos.
Se van volando ahí, bueno, que si fueran papalote, pero abajo no hay.
Así es que se meten como orugas, que se meten a una bolsita y van volando.
Sí.
Okay. Mayra, number 4.
What geographical adjective best describes this place? Flat, ice, hill, mountainous.
Mountainous, okay. So, let me read it and pay attention. Sí, lo voy a leer. Dice, Mitsushiko Gamashi. Dice, last July, my wife and I took a trip to Canada to visit a place called Banff National Park. We flew from Tokyo to Vancouver, which is a beautiful city in the west of Canada. And we rented a car and drove to Banff. It's about 800 kilometers to the east of Vancouver. So it took about 9 hours to get there. The park is located in the southwest corner of the province of Alberta. In Banff, we stayed at a huge old hotel right on Lake Louise. The Lake Louise Hotel is really famous. You can see in the pictures on the internet. It was pretty expensive, but worth it. Lake Louise was breathtaking. It's a beautiful greenish blue color and surrounded by mountains. Even in July, you could still see snow at the top of many of the mountains. The lake was like a mirror. When we hiked around it, we could actually see the mountains and the hotel in the lake. And at the far end of the lake, at the foot of Mount Victoria, you can see Victoria Glacier. It was really spectacular. That's where a lot of the water in Lake Louise comes from. There are lots of hiking paths from Lake Louise, and we hike it every day. The fresh, clean air and the green forest were amazing. One day, we actually saw a bear. Another time, we followed the path to Fairview Mountain, which has amazing cliffs, really high up. When you get to the top, the views are fantastic. We also visit Johnson Canyon, a short drive from Lake Louise. There are 7 different waterfalls you can visit. Near some of the falls, the path was a little slippery, so we have to be careful. But each one was extraordinary. My wife couldn't stop taking pictures. We spent 4 days there, and it was an unforgettable trip. One more time?
Yes, teacher,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, one more time. Okay, last July, my wife and I took a trip to Canada to visit a place called Banff National Park. We flew from Tokyo to Vancouver, which is a beautiful city in the west of Canada, and we rented a car to drive to Banff. It's about 800 kilometers to the east of Vancouver, so it took about 9 hours to get there. The park is located in the southwest corner of the province of Alberta. In Banff, we stayed at a huge old hotel right on Lake Louise. The Lake Louise Hotel is really famous. You can see it in pictures on the internet. It was pretty expensive, but worth it. Lake Louise was breathtaking. It's a beautiful greenish blue color and surrounded by mountains. Even in July, you could still see snow at the top of many of the mountains. The lake was like a mirror. When we hiked around it, we could actually see the mountains and the hotel in the lake. And at the far end of the lake, at the foot of Mount Victoria, you can see Victoria Glacier. It was really spectacular. That's where a lot of the water in Lake Louise comes from. There are lots of hiking paths from Lake Louise, and we hike it every day. The fresh, clean air and the green forest were amazing. One day, we actually saw a bear. Another time, we followed the path to Fairview Mountain, which has amazing cliffs, really high up. When you get to the top, the views are fantastic. We also visit Johnson Canyon, a short drive from Lake Louise. There are 7 different waterfalls you can visit. Near some of the falls, the path was a little slippery, so we have to be careful. But each one was extraordinary. My wife couldn't stop taking pictures. We spent 4 days there, and it was an unforgettable trip. Okay, ready?
Ready.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So number 1, Mayra.
What country did Mr. Yamishi visit? Canada.
Canada, very good. Alvita,
What kind of place did he visit? A park.
a park, very good. George.
What activity did he and his wife do the most? Go hiking?
Go hiking. That's right. Muy bien. And Mayra, number 4.
What geographical adjective best describe this place? Hilly?
Hilly.
Or mountains?
Mountainous.
I think
Mountain.
he can say it's mountainous, but be careful because it's very very hilly.
Very slippery.
Slippery. Yes. It's mountainous. Very good. Okay.
Mountainous.
Mountainous. Tell me, do you know Canada?
No.
Yes, I know Canada, but I know the east part of Canada, Montreal.
Okay.
Yes, but I don't know Vancouver. I haven't been in Vancouver.
Okay. Tell me, George, which country do you prefer? Because the forest and the kind of mm, mountains or those things. Which country do you prefer better or best? The USA or Canada?
What the US? I think Canada is just beautiful in some cities, and they have a lot of forest. And in autumn season, you can see the trees with splendor colors in all the highways from Montreal to the Niagara Falls, the part of Niagara Falls. I don't remember. Ontario.
Ontario too. I suppose it's beautiful.
Yes, it is. That's what I knew, but it was beautiful. But all the north states of United States, they are nice too. They are beautiful in summertime.
But I suppose maybe Canada has a little more charm.
Yes, it has.
Okay. And what about the costumes? Are they similar? Because many people have told me that the costumes in Canada are very similar to Mexican cultures. What do you think? A little more conservative. Okay.
I
Yes,
think
George.
they have a lot of influence from the migration from China, from Mexico, from all over the world. And the cities, I think Ontario has a huge colony of China people. And it has a lot of influence. And a lot of Mexicans too live there too. I don't know, but I think they still speak, in the part that they speak French, and they have a conservative in that way, and they speak English too. But there are a lot of migration, a lot of people from China and so from Japan. That's in that part that I was I have been.
Maybe because the country is huge, and there are some places where there aren't any people, and they need people to live or who live there.
Yes,
I don't
that's
know.
very true. That's very true, because the people live just on the border, but up there nobody lives, because just valleys, mountains, and everything is a desert just up to the north, because it's very cold, and they don't have the really condition for living there.
Okay.
That's what
Yes, it's like well, yes. Would you like to live there in Canada, guys?
Alvita likes.
And Albita?
Yes, yes. I want to live in Canada.
Why?
Because I have a friend who lives there. He lives in Toronto. They say the life in Canada is good.
It's better than in the USA.
Yes. And the Canadians, yes.
Yes,
The
Canadian.
people, Canadian people are very polite.
Mm.
More friendly than Americans.
Yeah.
They are
Yes.
they are a good people.
Good people.
The Canadians.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, many people would like to live in Canada. Many
Yes.
in Mexican young couple would like to live in Canada. Okay. What about you, Mayra?
I like to know it, but I'm not sure if I like to live there. I
Why
will
not?
be first far
Uh-huh.
from my family, and I suppose I have to see them a little.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cold.
Not so often.
A lot of snow.
Yes.
Yeah. That's one of the things I would thinking about because I don't like cold. I
I
prefer
like cold.
like cold, but not so cold.
No, I think in my other life I was a polar bear.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I hate the heat, the heat, calor,
The heat, the hot, the hot.
the hot.
Okay.
I prefer cold.
So for you in this moment, it's hot.
Yes, o sea, bueno, in the chat
Mhm.
it's a good bueno, so it's a good weather. But if you go in the sun is like it's burning.
Yeah. Mhm. At 1 o'clock or 2 p.m., it's very hot.
It's terrible. O sea, it's like you had a mirror with the sun. It's terrible. The sun now.
Yes. It doesn't seem like we are in autumn.
Yes.
Okay. Vamos a ver, continue. Next one. So we have the second part of the listening. Listen now for details. Listen again and pay attention to how Mr. Yamagishi describes what he saw on his trip and complete each phrase with a word from the box. We have air, canyon, cliffs, forest, glacier, hotel, lake, mountains, path, views, water, and waterfalls. Any question?
Not teacher, but
No.
Path.
Camino, como
Okay.
camino,
Path.
senderos.
Okay.
Yeah, bueno. So, do you remember? Bueno, listen again, pay attention, and try to match each one of these words with the correct line or the correct adjective. So, vamos a ver. Last July, my wife and I took a trip to Canada to visit a place called Banff National Park. We flew from Tokyo to Vancouver, which is a beautiful city in the west of Canada, and we rented a car and drove to Banff. It's about 800 kilometers to the east of Vancouver, so it took about 9 hours to get there. The park is located in the southwest corner of the province of Alberta. In Banff, we stayed at a huge old hotel right on Lake Louise. The Lake Louise Hotel is really famous. You can see it in pictures on the internet. It was pretty expensive, but worth it. Lake House was breathtaking. It's a beautiful greenish blue color and surrounded by mountains. Even in July, you could still see snow at the top of many of the mountains. The lake was like a mirror, and we hiked around it. We could actually see the mountains and the hotel in the lake. And at the far end of the lake, at the foot of Mountain Victoria, you can see Victoria Glacier. It was really spectacular. That's where a lot of the water in Lake Louise comes from. There are lots of hiking paths from Lake Louise, and we hike it every day. The fresh, clean air and the green forest were amazing. One day, we actually saw a bear. Another time, we followed the path to Fairview Mountain, which has amazing cliffs, really high up. When you get to the top, the views are fantastic. We also visited Johnson Canyon, a short drive from Lake Louise. There are 7 different waterfalls you can visit. Near some of the falls, the path was a little slippery, so we have to be careful. But each one was extraordinary. My wife couldn't stop taking pictures. We spent 4 days there, and it was an unforgettable trip. Okay, now, can you tell me which word can you describe as amazing?
Amazing hotel?
The glaciers.
No.
No.
Again, teacher.
Again? Okay. Bueno, vamos a ver.
Es que
Sí, vayan anotando, ahí, como no queriendo.
Sí, pero es que
Bueno.
me estoy buscando una pluma que no encuentro. Ya. Ya encontré
Okay.
una.
Ok. Vamos.
Ready.
Okay, one more time. Last July, my wife and I took a trip to Canada to visit a place called Banff National Park. We flew from Tokyo to Vancouver, which is a beautiful city in the west of Canada, and we rented a car and drove to Banff. It's about 800 kilometers to the east of Vancouver, so it took about 9 hours to get there. The park is located in the southwest corner of the province of Alberta. In Banff, we stayed at a huge old hotel right on Lake Louise. The Lake Louise Hotel is really famous. You can see it in pictures on the internet. It was pretty expensive, but worth it. Lake Louise was breathtaking. It's a beautiful greenish blue color and surrounded by mountains. Even in July, you could still see snow at the top of many of the mountains. The lake was like a mirror. When we hiked around it, we could actually see the mountains and the hotel in the lake. And at the far end of the lake, at the foot of Mountain Victoria, you can see Victoria Glacier. It was really spectacular. That's where a lot of the water in Lake Louise comes from. There are lots of hiking paths from Lake Louise, and we hike it every day. The fresh, clean air and the green forest were amazing. One day we actually saw a bear. Another time we followed the path to Fairview Mountain, which has amazing cliffs. Really high up. When you get to the top, the views are fantastic. We also visited Johnson Canyon, a short drive from Lake Louise. There are 7 different waterfalls you can visit. There are 7 different waterfalls you can visit. Near some of the falls, the path was a little slippery, so we have to be careful. But each one was extraordinary. My wife couldn't stop taking pictures, and we spent 4 days there, and it was an unforgettable trip. Now you tell me, which one of these list of words can we describe as amazing?
Forest.
The forest,
Yes.
that's right. The forest. What about breathtaking?
Lake.
Lake.
Lake Louis.
The lake.
The lake, that's right. The extraordinary.
Is one.
Are you sure?
I understood that.
Extraordinary.
For example, if they are very famous, and you can see, or they are located between the United States and Canada. They share them.
The waterfalls. Waterfalls.
Waterfalls, that's right. Waterfalls.
Yes.
Okay, famous.
Famous hotel.
Hotel.
Very good. Fantastic.
Views.
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 That's right. Yes. Fresh and clean.
Air.
Slippery.
Fat.
Fat. And spectacular.
Glacier.
Okay.
Glacier, no?
The glacier. That's right.
Glacier.
Okay, excellent. Very good. Now, summarize Mr. Yamagichi's trip in your own words by restating key details. A ver. Summarize.
Summarize.
Resume.
The trip was amazing.
Very, very the trip was amazing. George?
They flew from Tokyo to Vancouver. And they in Vancouver, they rent a car. They went a part of Alberta, the South Alberta. They they stay in a really nice hotel. It was worth. It was expensive, but it was worth. It has a really nice views. They saw waterfalls, and it was an extraordinary trip.
Excellent. Yes, very good. Mayra?
Mr. Yamagishi and his wife traveled to Canada. Here, he visited a beautiful park, and it was extraordinary places. He went hiking every day, and there was a huge hotel, and there was a river so clear as a mirror.
As clean as a mirror.
And also there was 7 waterfalls.
There are 7 waterfalls.
And since their hotel, they could see a glacier.
Yes.
It was everything was amazing.
Amazing, that's right. Muy bien. Something else? Do you remember the name of the glacier?
No.
George, Albita? No? It has the name of a queen from England.
Elizabeth?
Another one. Another an older queen.
Mary? Queen Mary?
Another one. I think she was Elizabeth's grandma.
Ay, ¿cómo se llamaba?
It starts with B.
B?
With B. One. Don't you remember?
Mm,
No?
no, you know.
It says
Okay.
que was Isabel is was the reina de la reina madre.
But what about her mom? Do you remember Elizabeth's mom's name?
It was Elizabeth the second.
Uh-huh.
Her mom was Elizabeth Bowles Lyon.
But another one.
His wife, no wife, no. His husband was the King George.
George, But I don't know if it was her grandma or her great grandma. And it starts with B. B.
Beatles.
The Beatles, no. No, it starts with B. With the B of victorious.
Victoria.
The Queen Victoria.
The Queen Victoria, yeah.
Right. Okay, vamos a ver, continue. So now, this is your homework. But we have this one, vocabulary. Vocabulary, energy, and the environment. Yes? So let's read this vocabulary, please. Number one, George, the environment.
The environment, the air, water, and land in which people, animals, and plants live.
That's right. Mayra, pollution. Perdón.
Yes, pollution. Sí, pollution. The act of causing air, water, or land to become dirty and unhealthy for people, animals, and plants.
Very good. Alvita.
Climate change. A long-term change in the Earth's temperatures and weather patterns.
Patterns. Okay. George, please, one more time. Power.
Power, electricity, or other force that can be used to make machines, cars, etc. work.
Mayra, please. Renewable.
Renewable energy, power from natural resources, such as wind power or solar power from the sun, that is continually available for human use.
Excellent. Elvita, energy.
Energy efficiency, using as little power as possible.
Okay. And George, please. Stress.
Stress in verbs and nouns. Increase, to become larger in amount. An increase temperature. Decrease, to become smaller in amount. A decrease in pollution.
¿Sabían cómo cambia? Nada más por esto. Por estas palabritas cambia el significado. ¿Ya?
Just in an increase.
In temperature.
Temperature. Okay, to become. A decrease pollution.
In pollution. This is verb and this is the noun. Yeah?
Okay.
This is the verb and this is the noun. Nada más por esto, cambia a sustantivo. Nada más. Okay. Any question about vocabulary?
A little bit confused. Increase and increase.
Increase and decrease?
Yes.
Increase is when it's higher. Yes? Incremento.
Yes.
En decrease es, ¿cómo podríamos decirlo?
Sí, cuando va para abajo, o sea, se está de, ¿cómo se dice en español? De
disminuir.
Disminuir. Disminuir. Ajá. Aquí es como verbo disminuir. Y aquí podremos decirlo como sustantivo un como. Una
Decrecimiento.
o
Pero
decrecimiento.
pollution no es
O
contaminación.
Yes,
disminución.
yes. Pollution, yes. A decrease for
Ajá.
a decrease pollution.
A decrease in pollution. Una disminución en la contaminación. ¿Sí? O la, perdón, la contaminación disminuyó.
Y en increase sería que la temperatura subió.
Así es, aumentó.
¿Y por qué dice entre comillas, temperature?
Ah, porque es un ejemplo. Por ejemplo, este es la temperatura se incrementó o
Como aumento.
aumento, ajá, así es. O se elevó. Bien.
Okay.
How do you say the prices increase or the prices increase or the prices decrease? The price of anyone, the price of tomatoes or the price of the fruit increase.
Increase, ajá. Increase. Uh-huh.
And the temperature an increase or no?
The temperature has an increase. Sería. Because you have to use the verb, and remember, an increase it's a noun. Okay. Or the temperature has increased. Okay. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Continue. So now, we are talking about energy, nature, atmosphere, weather, yes? So, choose clean energy. Let's read this about the global warming and help cure global warming. Vamos a empezar a leer. Please, George, can you read the introduction?
Fossil fuels such as oil, coal, and natural gas provide energy for our cars and homes, but increase the amount of carbon dioxide in the air, contributing to climate change in the form of global warming. However, there are choices we can make that can lessen their negative impact on the environment.
Okay, can you read one more time? Así como que me fui a las... Please.
Yeah. Fossil fuels such as oil, coal, and natural gas provide energy for our cars and homes, but increase the amount of carbon dioxide in the air, contributing to climate change in the form of global warming. However, there are choices we can make that can lessen their negative impact on the environment.
Okay, muy bien. Please, Mayra, get moving.
Yes. Get moving. Take good care of your car and keep your
Tires.
Whose that is properly insulated with air. You will use less gasoline and save money. Better yet, skip the drive and walk. Take public transportation or ride a bicycle when you can.
Or ride a bicycle when you can. Okay, very good. Alvita, upgrade.
Upgrade. Replace your old refrigerator and air conditioner with a new energy efficient model. Not only will you save money on your electric bill, but you contribute to cutting back on the pollution that causes global warming.
Excellent. George, please. See the light.
See the light. Use new energy-saving compact fluorescent light bulbs. They produce the same amount of light as older incandescent bulbs that they use 75% less electricity and last much longer.
That's right. Mayra, cut back.
Cut back. Try to reduce the amount of water you use for showers, laundry, and washing dishes, and turn the temperature on your hot water heater down.
Get it down. Okay. Albita, recycle.
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 No, yes, recycle.
Use products that are recycled from old paper, glass, and metal to reduce energy, waste, and pollution by 70 to 19%. And before you toss things in the garbage, think about what you can reuse. What that means you reuse?
Which one? Reuse? Reusar.
Reuse. Can reuse. Okay.
Reusar.
Okay.
And before you
reuse.
toss, reuse. Reusar. And better, and before you toss, TOSS, what is TOSS?
TOSS es sacudida, pero aquí lo vamos a utilizar como tirar.
What is?
Toss things to the garbage.
Okay.
Tirar o arrojar cosas en la basura. Think about that you can reuse. Okay. Reciclaje, ¿no? Okay. Think local. Please, George.
Think local. Shipping foods over long distance is a waste of energy and adds to pollution. In addition, the pesticides and chemical used to grow them are bad for the environment. So buy locally grown fruits and vegetables instead.
Okay, shipping, what is this one?
Just sending.
¿No? Shipping, mandar, ¿cierto? Shipping.
I didn't hear what means, teacher?
Okay, shipping, enviar. O envíos.
Okay, yes.
Okay. Speak out, Mayra.
Speak out. Talk to lawmakers about your interest in curbing global warming. Support their attempts to improve standards for efficiency?
Efficiently. Efficiency.
Efficiency to fund renewable and clean energy solutions such as wind and solar power and to protect forests.
Okay, questions? Lawmakers es legisladores, ¿eh?
Diputados.
Okay.
Curbing.
Yeah.
Curbing, teacher?
Curbing, where is curbing?
Curbing, yeah.
About your interest in curbing. Curbing. Frenando.
Curbing.
Frenar.
Frenar,
Okay.
Any other question about vocabulary? No?
No.
Okay, what about this part? The effects of global warming. Please, George, can you read? An increase?
An increase in floods, droughts, tornadoes, and other extreme weather conditions.
Okay, Albita.
A rise in sea levels causing flooding in coastal areas.
Mayra, higher.
Higher sea surface temperatures endangering sea life.
George, please.
The shrink of glaciers leading to a decrease in fresh water for rivers and less energy production.
Albita, please. A
Loss of
loss.
tropical forests and increase in arid lands. More forest fires and a loss of animals and plant species.
And finally, Mayra.
A decrease in agricultural yields leading to famine.
Okay, any question about vocabulary?
A ver, no vi que drops es sequía, ¿verdad?
Yes.
To shrink of glaciers es deshacerse, no shrink.
O derretirse,
Derretirse.
deshielo.
Agriculture yields, Y-A-E-L-D-S, the last phrase, the last,
Yield.
yeah.
Yield. Edit, rendimientos.
Oh,
And the third point, teacher, endangering.
Endangering, peligro. Poner en peligro.
danger.
Endangering. Mhm.
No more questions?
No, it's very interesting to read this because it's nowadays the thing from all over the world.
Yeah, that's right.
No,
There-
yes, I have another one. Famine, the last word. Famine.
También. Hambruna.
Ah, yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah. Bueno. Okay, so according to the reading, you have to answer this activity. ¿Sí? Exercise A, B, and C. ¿Sí? Y ya no vamos a alcanzar, muchachos. And letter A. Al ratito que suban la clase, por favor, la contestan y me la mandan. ¿Sí, muchachos? Quedan como tarea. This one, understand from context and note painting. Ahí está. ¿Alguna duda, pregunta,
Bueno.
reclamación? ¿No?
No,
No.
teacher.
Muy bien, muchachos. Déjenme decirles, felicitarlos, porque es un grupo bien participativo. Y eso es bueno, porque es señal que quieren aprender y practicar. La verdad, me dio mucho gusto haber sido su maestra este tiempo. George, que estuviste de dos niveles o 3 niveles, me dio mucho gusto, eres un excelente alumno.
No, thank you.
Mayra, una excelente alumna. Albita también, bien alegre, Albita. Los voy a extrañar mucho, la
Yo te la
verdad.
greñuda.
Los voy a extrañar mucho. Espero verlos
¿Y tú,
pronto.
teacher?
¿Sí?
Okay.
Cuídense.
No,
Tome.
yes. Ahí tienen the third level, the third level.
Ajá.
Level 3, Mauricio.
We will see you here. ¿Sí? Cuídense mucho,
Okay.
muchachos. ¿Verdad?
Thank you so much, teacher. You're the best teacher in the world.
Teacher, déjeme decirte algo. Por favor.
Ande.
A mí me gusta mucho su forma de darnos clases. Es
A
muy,
mí
muy
también.
alegre, nos mantiene alertas todo el rato y eso se ve en pocos teachers. Y no, me gusta mucho desde el principio.
Gracias.
A mí también, maestra.
Ay, no, me da tristeza. Siempre que se va me da tristeza.
No, maestra, pero don't worry, we'll be back.
Espero verlos, muchachos.
No, y déjele comento una cosa. Jorge entró a inglés porque como ya íbamos quedando menos en los cursos, le digo, Jorge, entra conmigo, aunque no entres, si no el curso no se va a hacer. Y entra más que yo. Pues me dio gusto, la verdad, que participe y que haya entrado todos los días.
La verdad.
Thank
Aprendí
you very
mucho.
much. Thank you all. Thank you to everyone, of you, and thank you,
No,
you
yes,
teacher.
thank you. Thank you,
You're a great
everybody.
teacher.
Aunque no creas, Jorge, aprendí muchas cosas de ti. De todo siempre aprendo algo. Siempre aprendo cosas buenas de mis alumnos. Muchas gracias.
We learn
Bye.
too much about you.
Bueno, cuídense mucho, muchachos. No nos despedimos. Espero.
Teacher, no.
Thank you very much.
See you
Thank
soon.
you.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye, Mayra. Bye.
Bye.